Have you ever felt like life has knocked you down so hard that there's nothing left to hold on to? Like no matter how hard you try, everything you built, everything you loved, just slips through your fingers. Today's story is about a man who experienced exactly that. But what makes his journey remarkable is not the loss. It's how he found himself afterward. This story isn't just a tale of hardship. It's a lesson in resilience, self-discovery, and the incredible power of the human spirit. Stick with me until the end, because this story will leave you inspired and motivated, and you might even learn a few new words along the way. John was once a successful entrepreneur. By his mid-30s, he had built a thriving business, owned a beautiful home, and had a family who adored him. To the outside world, he seemed to have it all: money, respect, and a life that many would envy. But beneath the surface, John was struggling. The pressure of running a business, meeting expectations, and maintaining appearances began to weigh heavily on him. He worked long hours, neglected his health, and gradually lost touch with the things that truly mattered: his happiness, his passion, and even his family. Then, the unthinkable happened. A sudden economic downturn hit his industry hard. Contracts were cancelled, clients disappeared, and within months, John's business was on the verge of bankruptcy. He tried everything he could think of: cutting costs, reaching out to investors, even taking loans, but nothing worked. One by one, the pieces of his carefully built life started to crumble. His employees left, his house was foreclosed, and soon even his family life began to suffer under the weight of stress and tension. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day of trying to save his business, John sat alone in his empty house. For the first time, he felt truly powerless. The man who had once controlled every aspect of his life now felt like a stranger to himself. His identity had been tied to his wealth and his business, and without them, he didn't know who he was anymore. As the days passed, John hit rock bottom. He sold what little possessions he had left, just to pay for basic necessities. Friends who had admired him from afar seemed to disappear. He felt isolated, defeated, and utterly lost. At that moment, he had a choice. He could let the circumstances define him, or he could try to find a way to redefine himself. It was a simple moment that sparked a transformation. While walking through a park to clear his mind, he noticed a group of children playing soccer. Their laughter was infectious, and for a brief moment, he felt something he hadn't in months: joy. He realized that for so long, he had measured his worth by money, status, and external validation. And in doing so, he had lost touch with what truly made him human: connection, curiosity, and the simple joys of life. John realized that if he wanted to rebuild his life, he couldn't rely on circumstances or luck. He had to start from within. The economy was unpredictable, opportunities could vanish in an instant, but his mindset was something he could shape. He made a conscious decision to change his daily habits. Each morning, he woke up early and took long walks, using the quiet of the dawn to think, reflect, and clear his mind of negativity. He began reading books he had never had time for before, exploring philosophy, psychology, and personal development. With each page, he discovered new ways to see the world, new tools to manage stress, and new perspectives on his own life. John also started practicing gratitude, writing down 3 things every day that he was thankful for. No matter how small, Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, he felt a shift, a calm clarity replacing the chaos that had dominated his mind for so long. Next, John realized he had skills and knowledge that didn't depend on his former wealth. He had experience in business, communication, and problem solving. Instead of thinking about what he had lost, he started thinking about what he could give. He volunteered at a local community center, sharing his knowledge with young entrepreneurs who dreamed of starting their own businesses. At first, he was nervous and unsure, but he found purpose in helping others. Something remarkable happened during this period of giving. John discovered that happiness wasn't found in wealth. It was found in contribution, growth, and self-understanding. The more he focused on helping others and improving himself, the lighter his burdens felt. He began to see that losing everything had been painful, but it had also given him clarity, humility, and the opportunity to reconnect with the person he had lost along the way. Months turned into a year, and John's life began to change in unexpected ways. He met new people who shared his values and supported his vision. Opportunities arose not because he was desperate or chasing money, but because he had become someone people respected for his resilience, knowledge, and authenticity. Slowly, he started his own small venture again. This time with a focus on social impact and community growth rather than pure profit. The man who once measured his worth by wealth and status had learned a crucial truth. Life doesn't define you. Your mindset does. Success isn't about never failing. It's about learning, growing, and finding yourself in the midst of challenges. John had lost everything, but in doing so, he had found the one thing no one could take away from him: himself. Years later, John reflected on his journey. He realized that the losses he had endured were lessons in disguise. They taught him patience, gratitude, humility, and the importance of inner strength. He understood that many people spend their lives chasing success without knowing who they are, only to feel empty once they achieve it. His experience had shown him that real wealth isn't measured by money or possessions. It's measured by clarity of purpose, self-awareness, and the ability to rise after being knocked down. One day, a young entrepreneur approached him, asking how he had turned his life around after losing everything. John smiled and said, "I didn't find success. I found myself. Everything else followed." The moment you understand who you truly are and what you can offer to the world, that's when life begins to reward you in ways you never imagined. John's story is a timeless reminder that setbacks are not the end. They are opportunities in disguise. Losing something might feel unbearable in the moment, but it can also strip away the distractions that prevent you from seeing your true potential. Life often asks us to let go of control, to surrender our ego, and to discover who we really are beneath the surface. So if you are facing loss, failure, or uncertainty today, remember John's journey. It's not about how much you lose. It's about what you do with what remains. Focus on growth, contribution, and self-discovery. When you lose everything, you get a rare chance to start fresh, not with fear, but with clarity and purpose. John's story teaches us that failure is not permanent, and losing everything can sometimes be the first step toward finding everything that really matters. If this story inspired you, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who might need motivation today, and comment below on what lesson you're taking from John's journey. Life is unpredictable, But your mindset is powerful. Never forget that.